What's going on, people? My name is Antoine, this is S21 Tech and welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be bringing you a charging face-off, a charging battle between the Samsung S21 and the S21 Plus. So on the left hand side we've got the S21 Plus and the right hand side we've got the S21. So without further ado, let's get it going. So both batteries were drained down to 0% prior to this test, and I must say I was quite impressed with the battery performance of both phones while I was trying to drain them down. They just did not want to die at all. So as we come up to the 10-minute mark, the left hand side, the S21 Plus is sitting at 18%, while the S21 is sitting at 20%. So it's pretty much neck and neck. So just to let you know about battery spec, the S21 has a 4000 milliamp battery, whereas the S21 Plus has a 4800 milliamp battery. Now the difference in numbers is quite large, but the S21 only has a 6.2 inch display, whereas the S21 Plus has a 6.7. So the difference in screen sizes and the difference in battery sizes should sort of balance themselves out. Bigger screens using more power, obviously. Well, that's the idea, but in real life it doesn't always work out that way. I find when you have a phone with a larger screen, you tend to use it way more than you would with a phone with a smaller screen. And we are just hitting the 20-minute mark, and it looks as though the S21 has pulled ahead very slightly, but the difference is pretty much insignificant at this point. So I am using a 25-watt super fast charger. You know, the charger that Samsung isn't including in the box anymore. So this is a theoretical maximum charging speed that you would get. And I just feel as though it's important to point this out, because if you are moving over from a previous generation Samsung, you probably don't have this charger, so these aren't the speeds that you would get. Fortunately, Samsung have been doing fast charging for quite a while, so the charging that you do have will still give you pretty decent speeds. And just hitting the 30-minute mark, we're looking at 51% and 57% in favor of the S21. So over the years, Samsung have never really quoted specific charging times with their flagships. They've always said at least 50% within 30 minutes. It looks as though that's still the case with the S21 range. So I was in two minds whether or not to include the S21 Ultra as part of this test, but I decided that it's probably more likely, if you're in the market for an S21, you'll be comparing the S21 to the S21 Plus, whilst the S21 Ultra kind of sits on its own. So hitting the 40-minute mark, it looks as though the S21 has pulled away again with a lead of 6%. But just touching on the S21 Ultra again, if you do want to see a charging test with that phone, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get that sorted for you. If you are new here, it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Again, my name is Antoine. I cover tech, all things tech, a lot of Samsung, but I do random bits and bobs, also videos like this as well. So if you're into this sort of thing, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and likes are always appreciated. And we are just coming up to the 50-minute mark. So the S21 is sitting at 84%, whilst the S21 Plus is sitting at 79%. So the gap is pretty much the same. There's no change really. One thing to note is that majority of the charging speed happens right at the start, typically within the first 30 minutes. Then over time, the charging speed steadily slows down. Then right at the end, you get a bit of a trickle charge. When my battery is fairly low, I'll quite often just pop it in for 15 minutes just to get a bit of a boost, and I'm normally back at like 35-40%, which is enough to keep me going for a decent amount of time. And hitting the 1 hour mark, it looks as though the gap is pretty much the same, and it's fair to say the S21 is probably going to finish charging before the S21 Plus, but the question is, how much of a gap will there be? Let's find out. So a quick check at the 65-minute mark of the S21 Plus shows us 91%. and at the 67-minute mark, looks like the S21 is on 96%. Coming up to the 70-minute mark, S21 is at 98%, so it's almost done. The S21 Plus is still just at 93%, so it's still got a bit of a way to go. And 72-minute mark, the S21 is finished. So we'll just concentrate on the S21 Plus at this point. So just under 75 minutes, it looks as though the S21 Plus is at 96%. Let's see how much longer it will be before it hits 100%. So 99%, and yes, we have 100% at 77 minutes. So we compare 72 minutes for the S21 and 77 minutes for the S21 Plus. So there was literally 5.5 minutes, which in the grand scheme of things is literally nothing. If you're going to charge your phone overnight, you're not going to notice any difference. So in the end, the final result was pretty obvious. The smaller battery charged quicker, but it's always good to see a semi-scientific test, and I use scientifically very loosely. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Again, my name is Antoine, this is ATM Tech, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.